Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Tracy, and welcome back to Ton of Light Podcast. All right, so on this episode, I want to clarify once and for all just all the common misconceptions regarding spirituality. Because you know what? It's certainly not the typical stereotype from the 70s that has evolved. So if you still believe that, I don't know, that we just it's all the peace and love and people are just tripping on psychedelics and having all kinds of crazy sex on drugs, then you can just let go of that belief. But I'm also aware that I have just used that stereotype as an example. So I mean, I don't know. I wasn't alive at the time, although I wish I have been. No, I'm just playing. But on a serious note, it is not even what people believe in modern times spirituality is made out to be. We don't become this enlightened being overnight and we turn into motherfucking Jesus. That's another thing that irritates me, is that people think that we're just supposed to be so perfect, like we know everything, when it's the exact opposite. We know that we don't know shit, that the universe is so expansive that it just opens up our mind to all the possibilities that could be. So therefore we release judgment, we look within ourselves, we realize that we are just the microism in the macrocosm, right? But yeah, we are somehow expected to never sin again. But just remember that we are still very much human, and so we are still going to carry our human characteristics. It's ridiculous. I was watching this one IG story from one of my favorite content creators, Activation Vibration, or simply Heather. And someone asked her in her story, is it okay to say the F word because you say it quite a lot? And I love her reaction. She was just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But you know what? She explained it perfectly. She's like, everything's about the meaning you put behind it. If she, Heather, knows that she is not using it in an offensive way, or she doesn't have anything negative really behind it. She says that she just uses them as fillers. So however, she is fully aware that if the person who asked her that, one of her followers, if the followers, I'm just using this as an example, but let's say that they grew up in a religious household and it was very bad to swear. Well, Heather can understand why she thinks, oh, is it okay to say it because you say it a lot? She knows that's got nothing to do with me. That's all you. That's your interpretation. So it does not affect Heather in any way whatsoever. She's like, that's your shit. That's your problem. So I don't use it that way. So, it is what it is. Does that make sense? And you know what? There are some people out there in the world that I know personally, whether through school or perhaps I worked out with them at one point in my life, and they're legit one of the nicest, coolest, most kind-hearted people that, got their shit together. They excel in their relationships. I mean, I don't know their business, but I just know that they don't struggle with any hardships drastically like a lot of the people on Earth. To my understanding, there are some people that reincarnate into this lifetime simply just to be themselves, and their light radiates so hard that they don't even have to express their spirituality the way that Heather and I do. They're their own pillar, so their light radiates so hard, then that's all they have to do, whether they know that or not, but I'm sure they do. They recognize their self-worth, and as I said, when they excel in their relationships, they most likely attract a partner who truly loves and appreciates them for them. and they wouldn't settle for anything less. Like, take for example, if they were to get really sick and it disables them, or like maybe they gain a substantial amount of weight, like they know that that's not all they are, so their partner will love them regardless because they know that that's all they deserve, right? And because they have so much love for themselves, they effortlessly can love others the same. They love to see other people succeed. They love to see other people happy. So their high vibrational state naturally is contagious and limitless. And what I think is pretty cool is that I love connecting with other people online within the spiritual community because, as I said, like we all express our light in our own way. So there's always something to learn from someone else. I'm always open to their suggestions and their ideas of perhaps doing inner work or anything of that nature. I'm always willing to learn, and so I love being both a student and a teacher because, that is an infinite road. Alright, so the first one is money. So oftentimes spiritual leaders who are financially abundant are not seen in such a positive light because of their finances. And to me that's unfair because how is it that the way that I see it is that if they're abundant in all other areas of their life and they have so much love and knowledge and wisdom to give, they bring value to other people's lives, then money is just another aspect of that. And also the universe is rewarding them for the value that they're putting into people's lives. So how else are they supposed to make a living? Or also living a lavish lifestyle. There are some flashy spiritual people out there who enjoy the finer things in life. And so if everybody else can do it, why is it only frowned upon if they do it? So yeah, there's nothing wrong with people who are spiritual and love to have a fancy new car. If that's what makes you happy, then you do you. I would like to believe that they have an understanding that they're not going to bring it with them once we exit this lifetime. So while we're here, we're supposed to have fun. And if that's what makes you happy, then so be it. Another one is hobbies, interests, your lifestyle in general. Substance abuse. This one has such a negative meaning behind it that I don't agree with either because usually they're controlled, and again, it's all about the meaning that you put behind it. So if you are choosing to, let's say, go on a shroom trip so you can do some inner work and you're looking for insight and revelations, you have a positive, pure intention behind this ayahuasca trip. This is going towards personal growth and development. You see, the meaning behind it completely changes as opposed to somebody who, let's say, smokes weed just to get away from the present moment. I read that that's all addiction is when you aren't able to sit with what actually is, and so there's ways to escape by altering the mind. So again, it's all about the purpose behind your actions, not necessarily the action. This one's kind of funny to me. I can see why a lot of people go vegan once they awakened, and it's just simply because there is a greater connection that is felt once you embark this journey. And so yeah, I was one of them that I didn't want to cause any, there was multiple reasons. The reason why, and I explained this on my first episode, but the reason why I even went plant-based is because I was really, really sick. So, once I went plant-based, that drastically changed my health for the better. However, that also opened up the door to all the reasons why this benefits me, not just for health reasons, but then I I do believe that we embody the energy behind the animal that is being slaughtered, because this was once a conscious sentient being, and so now it's like on your plate, and I don't know, that never really sat well with me. So I have drastically reduced, I should say. I mean, again, I shared this on the first episode, but like I have reduced it to 95%. Like there went at the initial stages of my spiritual awakening. Yes, I did go fully plant-based, but then that changed over time, because things can change over time, and I don't feel any guilt about it. But I figured, like, okay, the way to balance it out is that if I only eat it twice a month, and I can get everybody to eat it if I can get everyone to stop mindlessly eating meat, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you have this snack, and and you can like bring it down to like just a couple times a week or whatever you think is attainable for you, then it's like I'd much rather do that. Like that 5% that I am consuming, I can get other people to bring it down by 80, by whatever the case may be, you know? So yeah, like there's this connection to all inhabitants of the earth, plus the energy that we embody, and maybe a few other reasons why. But yeah, it's like we rather choose to eat higher vibrational state type food. Like it literally has more light from the sun. So that's mostly what is being consumed. But again, there are spiritual people and non-spiritual people that still eat meat, and it doesn't change their state, their high vibrational state. They can still eat animal products and still be great people. So yeah, I just want to clarify that people live their lifestyle as far as their diet goes very differently, very unique to them. And, and it may or may not affect your vibe. Again, it's all about the meaning. And now, on to relationships. So, it first starts within ourself. First, you reflect on yourself and you recognize your own self-worth and what are your values, and how would you like to, how can you live up to these higher standards, so that way you can expect that, rightfully so, from other people. Now, I personally don't like to say that I am protecting my own energy, because it just seems like it creates more division amongst my fellow human brothers and sisters. And it also seems very egotistic, to be honest. We are cultivating our own energy if we become more mindful of the people that we choose to engage with. So if someone approaches me with gossip, then I used to see, I'm so nice that I hate hurting people's feelings, but now it's like I have to remain firm on now I have to remain firm in my own frame and kindly tell them to take that shit somewhere else, because I really don't like gossip. And so therefore, I'm not really allowing that energy I'm not giving it permission by, allowing this person to continue and me even like interact with this conversation that I don't care for at all. So I mean, you can see it as a way of me protecting my aura or whatever, but I'm just simply not giving that kind of energy into my auric field. I don't want to befriend a gossipy bitch. So therefore, I shut that conversation down in the most polite way I can. There's definitely a shift in quality over quantity, because you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. And so that's why you unconsciously pick up their habits. This is true for people who struggle with maybe a substance addiction, because they feel comfort in others who are into the same thing, so there's no judgment. However, that's the circle that they're surrounding themselves in. So of course you're more likely to abuse that substance. Now, who we choose to have sex with also changes. It's not that they go abstinent, but they just become so much more mindful of who they choose to share their sexual energy with. Now, God gave us this amazing ability to enjoy one of the greatest pleasures on earth while we're still in human form, to enjoy in the physical world, is to eat and have sex. You guys know it's true. So food and sex can obviously be abused. Food is, for some reason, not frowned upon whenever people are addicted to food, but we are shamed for enjoying one of the greatest physical pleasures, and that's what we came here to do. Because spirit in the higher realms, they don't eat, sleep, have sex, and enjoy everything that is physical. They don't need it. It's unnecessary up there. So that's why we get bored and we reincarnate to Earth, not only to really live it up, but also to learn our lessons as well. Think of the movie Soul. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We came here just to be. So why is it that we are ashamed of expressing our sexuality? That's another thing, is that spiritual people can be freaks too. Like, so what if I like to get spanked and choked and all that good stuff? Mind your fucking business. Doesn't make anybody less godly. You could be freaky and spiritual at the same time. So that is just a few of many common misconceptions that I felt the need to address, so that way people can gain more clarity on how modern day hippies are living their life. Everyone is unique. Everyone expresses their God self in their own way. And so I just want to remind you to please not box us all into one umbrella of spiritual people, because that is certainly not the case. So I want to wrap this up by reminding you that we all just simply came here to live it up. We didn't come here to just work and die. We need to express ourselves more than ever now. Stay in that love frequency and don't take life so serious. We're here for a brief moment in time. I promise you that you're going to look back at these moments and laugh about everything that you took so serious, and it's going to be beautiful. Now, at this moment, because of the pandemic and all the social injustices and just everything in the world everything that's going on in the world as we know it it's not coincidental. So we may not understand it now. I know that right now it's pretty difficult to find the silver lining with everything that's been going on, but if we continue to act with love, then I think that we can reflect on these moments and see how much we needed to be shaken up by God. God is trying to awaken all of us, and there are some that already went through some crazy shit through major hardships before the pandemic that allows us to thrive during these times. So trust me, you may not be consciously aware of this, but I think that Soul is here to witness this grand awakening. This has been talked about for ages, so we all came here to be a part of it. Trust me, shit's gonna get a lot better, but as a collective, that depends on us. So with that said, thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped you, and stay tuned for the next episode. I love you guys. Much love and peace and avocado grease. Bye-bye.